Okay, so like Paris, it's always been this like super romantic city, right? With the Eiffel Tower and croissants and stuff. But guys, there's this whole other side to Paris. It's like seriously spooky. I'm talking ghosts, haunted cemeteries, and like vibes. So buckle up, Buttercup, because we're about to dive headfirst into the most haunted places in Paris. You might want to grab a blanket, not gonna lie. All right, first up, we've got the catacombs. These are not just any ordinary tunnels, they are steeped in history and mystery. Imagine like miles and miles of underground tunnels. These tunnels stretch beneath the city, winding and twisting in a labyrinthine network that seems almost endless. But instead of like rats and sewage, it's just bones. Millions of them. It's actually kind of wild. The walls are literally lined with skulls and bones arranged in eerie patterns that are both fascinating and macabre. So back in the day, Paris had a bit of a, overcrowding problem. The city was growing rapidly, and with it, the number of dead was increasing. Cemeteries were overflowing, and it was getting kind of gross. The stench and the sight of decaying bodies were becoming unbearable for the living. So they decided to move all the bones underground. Practical, right? It was a massive undertaking, involving the relocation of remains from various cemeteries to the catacombs. But also, like a recipe for some serious hauntings. The idea of moving so many bones to a dark underground place seems like it would stir up some restless spirits. People have reported seeing shadows moving in the tunnels, feeling cold spots, and even hearing whispers. These experiences have been described by many visitors, adding to the catacombs' eerie reputation. Some say it's the spirits of the dead, unable to find peace. The idea that these souls are trapped in the catacombs, wandering the dark corridors, is both chilling and sad. Honestly, I don't blame them. Imagine being surrounded by so many bones, each one representing a life that once was. It's enough to make anyone feel uneasy. Being surrounded by that many bones would mess with anyone's head. The sheer volume of human remains is overwhelming, and it's hard not to feel the weight of history pressing down on you. Today, the catacombs are a popular tourist attraction. People from all over the world come to explore these dark, mysterious tunnels and to experience the eerie atmosphere for themselves. Guided tours take visitors through the most famous sections, where they can learn about the history and significance of the catacombs. The guides share stories of the past, bringing the history of this underground world to life. There are also historical artifacts and inscriptions on the walls that tell the story of the catacombs. These remnants of the past provide a glimpse into the lives of those who once walked the streets of Paris. It's a place where history and mystery intertwine, creating an atmosphere that is both fascinating and haunting. The catacombs are a reminder of the city's past, and a testament to the lives that have come and gone. As you walk through the catacombs, it's hard not to think about the city above. Paris, with all its beauty and history, has a dark side that lies just beneath the surface. So next time you're in Paris, take a moment to explore the catacombs. It's an experience you won't soon forget, and it will give you a new perspective on the city and its history. Next up is Père Lachaise Cemetery. This isn't your average cemetery, okay? This is like the VIP section of the afterlife. We're talking Jim Morrison, Oscar Wilde, Edith Piaf, they're all here. And let me tell you, with that much talent in one place, there are bound to be a few lingering spirits. People claim to have seen Jim Morrison wandering among the graves, still rocking out in the afterlife. And there are stories of people feeling a presence near Oscar Wilde's tomb, as if he's still got stories to tell. It's like a who's who of ghosts. I'd be down to hang out, but like maybe not alone at night. Chapter 3. Phantom of the Opera House. Fact or fiction? Okay, you know I had to include the Phantom of the Opera House. This tale is one of the most enduring legends in the world of theater and opera. The story has captivated audiences for generations, blending romance, mystery, and a touch of the supernatural. This is like classic haunted Paris. The City of Lights has its fair share of ghost stories, but the Phantom of the Opera stands out as one of the most intriguing. The Palais Garnier itself is a masterpiece of architecture and design, making it the perfect setting for such a dramatic tale. The Palais Garnier is stunning, all chandeliers and velvet. Every corner of this grand building exudes opulence and history. The intricate details, from the gilded decorations to the plush red velvet seats, create an atmosphere that is both enchanting and eerie. But behind the glamour, there are whispers of a masked figure lurking in the shadows. This figure, often described as a disfigured genius, is said to haunt the opera house, moving silently through its darkened corridors and hidden passageways. Legend has it that a disfigured musical genius haunts the opera house, obsessed with a young soprano. This tragic character, known as the Phantom, is believed to have fallen in love with the beautiful Christine Daae, and his unrequited love drives him to madness. Is it true? Who knows? The story of the Phantom has been told and retold in countless books, films, and stage productions. While some believe it to be pure fiction, others are convinced that there is a kernel of truth to the legend. But people have reported seeing a shadowy figure in the balcony, hearing strange noises, and even feeling a ghostly presence. These eerie experiences have only fueled the legend, making the Phantom of the Opera a permanent fixture in the lore of the Palais Garnier. Plus, the opera house has a trapdoor that leads to a network of underground tunnels. These tunnels, which were originally designed for practical purposes, have become the stuff of legend. They add an extra layer of mystery to the already enigmatic story of the Phantom. I mean, come on, that's just asking for a ghost story. The combination of the opera house's grandeur, its hidden passageways, and the chilling tales of a masked figure create the perfect recipe for a haunting. Whether you believe in the Phantom or not, there's no denying the allure of this timeless legend. Chapter 4. The Rue des Archives Malsaines. Don't answer the door. Now we're getting into some seriously creepy stuff. The mansion on Rue des Archives is said to be one of the most haunted places in Paris. It's this old, abandoned building with a dark history. People say it's haunted by the ghosts of a family who were murdered there. Visitors have reported hearing screams, seeing apparitions, and feeling an overwhelming sense of dread. Some even say that objects move on their own. Like, imagine being there alone at night. I would literally die. Actually, I'd probably come back as a ghost and haunt the place too. It's just that kind of vibe. Chapter 5. Le Marais. Ghosts in the Cobblestones. Last but not least, we have Le Marais. This neighborhood is a treasure trove of history and mystery, a place where the past and present intertwine in the most fascinating ways. This neighborhood is one of the oldest in Paris, and it's full of narrow streets, historic buildings, and, you guessed it, ghosts. The cobblestone streets have seen centuries of history, and with that history comes stories, some of which are downright chilling. People have reported seeing apparitions, hearing footsteps, and feeling cold spots all over Le Marais. Imagine walking down a quiet street at night, only to feel a sudden chill or hear the faint sound of footsteps behind you, even though no one is there. Some say it's because of the area's long and often violent history. Le Marais has been the site of many significant events, from medieval times through the French Revolution and beyond. Each era has left its mark and perhaps its spirits. Others believe that the ghosts are simply drawn to the energy of the neighborhood. Le Marais is a vibrant area full of life and activity. It's a place where the old and new coexist, and maybe that's what attracts these spectral visitors. Whatever the reason, Le Marais is definitely a place where you might just catch a glimpse of something otherworldly. The narrow alleyways and historic buildings create an atmosphere that's perfect for ghostly encounters. So, keep your eyes peeled and your phone charged because you know you're going to want to get a picture. Whether you're a skeptic or a believer, the stories of Le Marais are sure to intrigue and maybe even spook you a little. As you wander through the streets, you might come across plaques and markers that tell the stories of the people who once lived here. Some of these stories are happy, but others are tragic, and it's these tales that often give rise to ghostly legends. There are even candlelit tours that take you through the most haunted spots in Le Marais. These tours are a great way to learn about the history of the area while also getting a good scare. The guides are well versed in the local lore and can tell you all about the most famous ghosts of Le Marais. From the restless spirits of revolutionaries to the ghosts of long-forgotten residents, there's no shortage of spooky stories. So, whether you're here for the history, the architecture, or the ghosts, Le Marais has something for everyone. It's a neighborhood that invites you to explore, to discover, and maybe even to believe in the supernatural. As you leave Le Marais, you'll carry with you the stories and the memories of this unique place. And who knows, maybe you'll even have a ghost story of your own to tell. Outre au revoir, sleep tight, don't let the ghosts bite. So there you have it. The top 5 most haunted places in Paris. I don't know about you, but I am both terrified and kind of obsessed. Paris is already magical, but add some ghosts to the mix and it's like next level. If you ever find yourself in Paris, be sure to check out these spooky spots. And if you do, let me know if you see any ghosts. Or, like, if you just get really creeped out. I need to know all the details. Thanks for watching.